Hey, what's up, guys? Mike Fritz here with Power Up Real Estate. So excited to have you guys today. I'm here with my buddy Kris Haskins from the Roundup Real Estate event, or the Roundup Real Estate, which is one of the coolest concepts. He rounds up all kinds of real estate investors on his channel. Make sure you go follow him at Kris Haskins over on YouTube as well. But thanks for being on the show, brother. What's happening?
Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you. So one of the things he is a boss at is the subject to / creative financing. So let's talk a little bit about how in the hell did you stumble on this? Like this is just like such a crazy, awesome way. I remember hearing, I think you were interviewing maybe, was it Ron LeGrand, I think one time, and he said, you'll be amazed at how many people will just give you their house.
Give you a house.
What in the world? So tell me, how'd you get into it? First of all, how'd you stumble into this?
You know what? Yeah, stumbling. First, we're in the beautiful Las Vegas. Let's let your viewers know. Look at this beautiful landscape. We'll give them a B-roll. It's beautiful here.
It is beautiful here. Yeah, right behind us, a gorgeous pool. We were out on this last night at an awesome cocktail party. We're here at Grow with Video Live, which is, Kris is always content. Man, you got to create content as an entrepreneur, right? Yep. And we're here doing that so we can keep bringing you awesome stuff like this. You're absolutely right. Here in Las Vegas, which if you're a shout out from Las Vegas, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Love being here in Vegas. Love being here in Vegas. So, dude, yeah, how did you stumble on this thing, man?
Well,
this is a cool idea.
It is a cool idea. It's the coolest idea, in my opinion, for real estate. I got to tell you, I felt like I've been doing real estate wrong since when I started in 2004. I did personally guaranteeing debt, putting houses in my name, going out there, tax returns, credit score, down payment applications, profit and losses, turning all that stuff into lenders. And when the crash came in 08, 09, you know, I lost so many houses to foreclosure.
Yeah.
Then after that, I said, Kris, you need to go get some education here.
Yeah.
So that's when I went on my quest for knowledge to figure out maybe I need to learn a different way to do real estate.
Yeah. I think that's a good reminder that when you start off in real estate, you are going to do it wrong. And I think so many people are scared to death of doing it wrong, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna do it wrong. Now, the reason we have channels and we want to educate you is so you don't do it wrong for long, so you can go into it educated. But we also want you to understand how you can do this, because so many people, Kris, and I don't know if you hear this, but I hear this a lot. I don't have any money. How do I get into real estate? I don't have any money.
How richer would we be if we just got 25 cents every time somebody said, "Oh, I just need the money.
I just need the money. I don't have the money. I don't have the money." And this is a cool way to invest in real estate if you don't have cash, right?
If you don't have cash, if you have limited cash.
Limited cash, right? Sure.
You do need to have some. We're subject to it. Really, that's just really where we just go in and we take over the homeowner's debt. We don't qualify for the debt. The debt stays in their name, but they deed us the house. And like you said, you will be surprised how many people will deed you a house if you just ask.
If you just
ask. Right way.
So subject to, if I'm understanding this correctly, is somebody maybe gets in trouble with their mortgage payments or for some personal reason, whatever, they need out of this house, and you take over that debt, do they move out? Do they stay there?
Yeah, they're gone.
They're gone. They got to go. They got to go. Okay.
You get in trouble doing that too. You don't let people stay in the house.
Okay. This is why we're asking questions. Make sure we do this the right way. So they move out of the house. Now you've got this house. Do you have to renovate it usually, or are they pretty rent ready, all over the board?
All over the board. I bought them. Matter of fact, I did one not right now. I needed nothing.
Oh, awesome.
Sometimes you get them where they're falling down.
Oh, okay.
So it all depends. The house I live in, I bought it subject to. So you can go in and do a little bit of work and fix it up.
And do it.
A to Z.
Okay. All right. So you get this house, you find these homeowners that may be in distress for some reason, they move out. Now, how does the debt stay in their name? Is there some way you have to, do you have to have a contract with the bank? What does that look like?
Yeah, I want to make sure I caution your viewers too. This is an advanced strategy.
Sure.
I don't want your people going out there and getting ma and pa's house subject to and then screwing it all up. So yeah, get some training.
Yeah, and he has a lot of training on his channel around subject to, so please do that. Please do that.
So there's moving parts. So the main thing is we have to just understand that, well, I don't know how it happened through the history of America. Financing and real estate somehow got meshed together.
Yeah.
I don't know what year it was or when they started doing this whole linking up financing to real estate, but in reality, they don't actually
exist together.
They do not. They are completely two different worlds.
Yep.
In our minds, I don't know about you, when I first started, I thought that money was attached to a house.
Yeah, right.
Did you?
Yeah, totally.
I thought you had to pay off a loan in order to buy a house.
To buy, you had to give all the money and you get the house. Yeah, totally.
Pay the mortgage off. Yeah, but in reality, if you're willing to open up your mind and understand how money works and how real estate is transferred, then you can understand that money actually does not link. It's not like a car. So for instance, with a car title, the lender is right on the deed, on the title.
Yeah.
So it's right there written. Real estate doesn't go like that.
Yeah.
There is no lender on your title on your home. Two different documents.
Got it. So the deed itself is still with the bank, and the deed itself still says, if I'm understanding this correctly, and I may be wrong here, the deed is still in their name, but they have a contract between you and them that it's now deeded over to you.
Well, we have two instruments when you're doing it. Let's just talk about real estate in general.
Yeah.
Forget SubTo. I think a lot of us trying to say, well, how do you do a subject to deal? There is no difference in a subject to deal and a traditional mortgage deal outside of the financing.
Outside of the financing. Okay, cool.
You have to remember what selling a house is. Selling a house is nothing but a seller putting their initials on a piece of paper and giving it to you.
Yep.
House is sold.
Correct.
Now all that debt, liens, loans, financing, all that stuff is in the background. So I can literally right now, I've bought houses on somebody's kitchen table.
Yeah, sure.
You sign a deed, boom, house is over, I own it, done.
Done. Okay, so this is cool. So they deed you the house, you have this contract between you and them, you now own the house, you make the payments now that they were making or weren't making to the bank, usually weren't making. And so, but let me ask you this though, does the bank ever care? Like, is the bank ever like, hey, you know, you can't do this? Yeah, what's the bank's response to all this?
Well, there is something called the due on sale clause, which I want to caution again your viewers.
Yeah, the advanced strategy, but I want you to know, you got to know this stuff. You got to know this stuff. You got to know of it, right?
There is something called the due on sale clause.
Right, yeah.
Say I do buy your house subject to. If I sit down, I use the magical words, because you can't use subject to when you're talking to a seller.
Don't use that word. That's our word. That's it.
Never use that word. You deed me your house, right? The bank may say, or the language is the mortgage company has the right to call the loan.
Yeah.
It's like you have the right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, all that stuff. A lot of people ain't happy. A lot of people take their lives. And we all know we have the right of certain things.
Yeah, we have a lot of rights that don't happen. Yeah, right.
So the bank may call a loan due. I've never had it, other than many of us, as I've done. My mentors have maybe had one called out of hundreds. So I just don't worry about it.
Yeah, and a lot of times I think it's in the bank's best interest to not call it.
Yeah,
because leave it alone. If the payments now are coming in and the arrears are paid, and like maybe you've got 2 or 3 mortgage payments that haven't been paid, and you pay all those and get everything caught up, I can't believe the bank's going to be like, wait, somebody else is making the payments. I mean, what's the difference in that and my parents bailing me out for a couple months and making my payments? No difference, right? And so, but why I wanted to bring this strategy to you guys is because I don't think that real estate should stop at your ability to have money in your bank. Like, some of you may have hundreds of thousands in your bank, or you know how to raise capital and you're great at that, awesome. But this is a strategy where you don't have to tie up capital, even if you have it. Like, even if you got it, I mean, you've gotten to a certain point where you have capital, access to it, and your own, but you're like, why use it? Why use it?
It's just a mentality.
Yeah, dude, why use it?
Even when you buy a SubTo house, the value is the financing.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
So when I buy them SubTo, I got the house, right? I have the house.
You have the house.
I can rent it out, do whatever I want, own it, live in it, rent it out, sell it, finance it. But you can take the when you sell it and you sell the financing, you're talking about just a whole world of opportunity opening up for you in your business.
And this is why I say this all the time on our channel, that there's not an opportunity gap, there's an education gap.
Yep.
And if we can close up that education gap there's so many people don't even know about this. I didn't know about this until I was negotiating a house one day, and this came up, and I'm like, what do you mean just take over your mortgage? It was a small 3-unit deal. And he's like, yeah, you just take over the mortgage. I'm kind of and I'm like, what does this look like? And I had to call somebody like Kris. I didn't know Kris at the time. I wish I did, but I didn't even know what I was doing. So a lot of you are out there, we want to close that ed gap, right? You need to know this kind of stuff if you're going to level up your game. And I don't care if you've been in real estate 5 years, 50 years, or 5 days, you got to know this stuff. So
a lot of experts don't know, Mike.
They don't.
A lot of guys I run into, I'm like, let's just SubTo it. What do you mean SubTo?
What do you mean SubTo? Yeah, they don't even know sub is short for subject.
That's right.
They don't. Yeah, it's 100% right. So you're starting off, man. You got somebody out here, and I really appreciate you doing this interview and bringing this, because this is what I want our people getting
right here, bro.
Yeah, this is the real meat of real estate. But let's say somebody's listening, wants to start diving in. assuming education is first step. You got to get educated on this process. You got to learn it. Again, make sure you follow Kris. We'll put his channel in the description to make sure you understand how you can link up with Kris over at Real Estate Roundup on his channel.
You're not going to fumble into this.
You're not going to fumble into it. So what do you do, man? What do you do?
You're not going to stumble into a subject to deal. You must go in with the end in mind.
With creating it.
Oh, yeah.
You got to create it.
Yeah. No one's going to say, I'm going to sell my house to you, Mike, and keep that loan in my name.
So most of the time, sellers don't even know they can do this.
They don't. No, none of the time. Yeah, they don't want to do
it. And so you have to educate, and we talk about this all the time. You got to educate your seller, right? Educate the seller. So somebody's starting off, assuming you got to go get educated. What's the first thing? Where do you, I mean, are you looking for deals? Do you call real estate agents? Obviously, they're not selling them, so you wouldn't probably call a real estate agent. Who do you calling, man? Who do you finding?
Please don't. Do not call a real estate agent and say, I'm looking for a subject to deal.
Yeah, real estate agents don't even know what that is, by the way. They don't know what that is, nor are they going to connect you with that. So it's obviously not an agent. So what do you do?
Well, educated, and I do have the REI Foundations.
We'll put that link in the description as well. He's got REI Foundations, really lays the foundation for real estate. I'll put that in the description as well.
First step, if I were to look at if I were to just want to buy a sub-2 deal, I personally would go to the most motivated, financially motivated sellers you can find, and that's going to be foreclosures.
Foreclosures. So you go foreclosures, get foreclosure lists. Do you get some lists?
You can get lists, but they're all publicized in some type of publication in your town. You got to know where to go.
You got to know where to go. Okay.
Look at them, but those people are just, I mean, they are waiting for you.
Sure.
To come in
and share that and
help them.
Right. And do you walk through how to find that list or navigate that list at all?
We have a foreclosure summit. Yeah, if you want
foreclosure summit.
I don't know where we can put a link for that.
We'll put a link down in the description. Yep. The whole goal of this is to not even sell you a bunch of stuff, but it's to give you resources. You got to invest in yourself to get resources to get this. I can't even tell you. We're here at an event. We were just talking about this before we shot this. This event is thousands and thousands of dollars to come to, but Kris and I are like, listen, we're going to level up our game. We're going to invest in ourselves. So you got to invest in yourself. We'll also put that link below. Just so you understand how to navigate the foreclosure game. So
highly motivated.
Yeah, and when you're talking to a seller, what do you say? Like I want to explain how you do this, but what do you say to a seller?
Let's pre-frame it first, because you don't go to, let's say the house is worth 200 and the owner owes 100.
Yeah.
You can't go to them. I don't want to say can't, but generally speaking, you're not going to say, I'm going to take over your debt. You just going down the street. They got 100,000 in equity.
Yeah, right.
So usually the people have little to no equity on sub-2 deals, usually. Okay. But they can have, there are two types of sub-2 deals. With equity, no equity.
Yep.
All right, let's say with equity. Let's say the home is 100. Let's say the home is worth 200 and they owe 100.
Yep.
You will have to write them a check for their equity.
For the 100,000.
Then take over the debt.
Got it.
That's
okay, that makes sense. That makes sense, yeah, sure.
And scenario B is it's worth 200 and they owe 200. That way, if they were to go on the open market, see, generally speaking, when they go on the open market and you owe what it's worth, you got to bring a check to close it.
Definitely.
So you got to frame up it's called a pre-frame. You got to pre-frame all that up before you make your offer.
Yeah.
Ms. Smith, why don't you just sell the house with a realtor? Well, I want to pay back. Well, why don't you just keep it and rent it out? No, I don't want to do it.
I don't want to deal with that. Yeah, right.
You got to just kind of boom, 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 and then say, well, Ms. Smith, I have a program. I don't know if it'll work for you, and I don't even know if you qualify.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love that line. That line, take a little bit of takeaway selling there. Yeah, I love that line.
I don't know if you qualify. I really don't even know if I want to do it, but I have, boom, we can do this, so that's where the magical words come in. You got to be able, if you don't have the magic words, and we have a program for that too, I mean, you got to be able to negotiate this stuff.
You got to be able to negotiate. You got to be able to negotiate. So again, when you're talking to sellers though, I think I learned this from you, you've got to be real careful. This is people's homes, man. You got to be so careful coming in like the bulldog.
Oh,
and
no.
if you follow my channel, I run at a level of intensity. I'm an intense dude. Hey, Kris knows I'm an intense dude. But when you're with sellers, man, you're dealing with where their 3-year-old played in the corner and where they took their first steps. You're not just dealing with people with houses. You're dealing with people's homes, like.
That's right.
And so
memories.
You got, man, family gatherings, Thanksgivings, Christmases, all this stuff. Like you got to come into this with a helper mindset, right?
Consultants.
Yeah, with helping them. And so I think that's one thing I learned from you as you've talked over the years of You know, we're problem solvers. We're not
Problem
salesmen, right?
We don't sell them anything.
We
Like,
don't
Ms. Smith, I may have this thing, it may work for you. If you're interested in it, if not, try this other thing over here.
Yeah.
I love not being the only option.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like when you date. I don't know if, you know, back when I was single, it's something magical about the person that wants more than just that one thing, get somebody in the bed at night. It's something magical about wanting or being about something more.
Yeah.
Than just, all right, we're going to, I'm just about getting to bed, or I'm just about making money. You know, it's just something about that person that just looks at life bigger.
Yeah. And what that, you translate that looks like sitting across from the seller, say, listen, our goal is just to help you get what you want. What is an ultimate end goal? Can we help you? If not, maybe we can connect you with somebody that can. But I love that mentality because you go in with a helper's mindset. But a subject to deal is another option for real estate that we wanted to bring you. We don't talk about that on our channel because I don't do a lot of sub-to deals. That's not my area. So I want to bring on an expert that does it. And so, Kris, thanks a bunch today for just laying out a little bit of this, opening our eyes to yet another way to buy real estate. I think real estate is the most diverse industry of ways you can do things in the world.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
It's just not, I mean, I think people think buying a house, I mean, it's just...
there's that, I don't even know what that means sometimes.
Yeah,
sometimes,
like, buy a house. Okay,
like,
well,
what does that mean? I'm like, I don't even know what buying house, I mean, we buy apartment, well, we invest, we leverage, we do so much. So yeah,
so many ways to acquire an asset.
Yeah, there's so much,
ridiculous.
and there's so many things to do with it. You can leverage it for debt if you are a debt person. You can hold on to it. You can fix it up and flip it. You can hold on to rent. There's so many things you can do.
Live in it, chop it up.
Yeah,
rent
yeah.
rooms,
You lived
have
in
your
what
family.
you did.
I
Yeah,
mean, you could do so many things. Real estate has saved my butt every time.
Yeah, it's so huge. It's so huge. So let us know in the comments if you have any questions around subject to. Let us know in the comments. We'll certainly bring Kris back on for some more stuff on our channel. And I also do some stuff over there. So make sure you go follow Kris over at his channel. We'll put those links in the description for Real Estate Foundations, for foreclosure, and also he's got a great book, Negotiating Bible. We'll put all that stuff in the description so you guys can peruse that stuff for what will fit what you're doing next in real estate. So thanks a bunch for coming on today, brother.
Okay,
I appreciate it, my man. Take care, and make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. We'll see you in the next video.